the army front is just one front out of multiple fronts that we're losing in. After a few months of fighting the war, I saw that the world has somehow managed to forget what I live on a daily basis, and that is the Hamas atrocities. So when I got out after a few months of fighting, and I realized that some of the most influencers are denying that the October 7th ever happened in the first place, and actually taking a strong opinion against Israel, which only tried to protect itself. I had to go to the U.S., went abroad. I was in Alabama, Mississippi, New York, tried to tell the story.
Obviously, it offends our sense of justice and truth that there are people out there denying the atrocities of October 7th. But in the big picture, I do wonder sometimes to what extent the public diplomacy and the information war really matter. And I want to get your perspective as a soldier who was on the ground, because I get the feeling that fighting for international public opinion is not just about whether people like us. It's about whether their leaders will continue to give us the military, political, diplomatic support we win. And I'm wondering, from your perspective as a soldier on the battlefield, to what extent did you feel that international public opinion mattered in your fight as a soldier against Hamas terrorists?
Well, it's like in the battlefield, it's like oxygen. You know, if you don't have the U.S. support at this very same moment, then you'll have like a coughs. You'll have like minimum possibilities to defend yourself, not even to try to eliminate the threat.
I mean, take me back, for example, when President Biden made his historic visit to Israel, the first U.S. president to visit Israel during a wartime. What did that do to morale of troops on the ground?
Well, I knew it only after, because we were busy. So I don't have...
You weren't following the news?
No, not the news, not what's going on with my family. It's like you're living a different reality.
And then when you find out that the president of the free world has come to visit Israel, what does that do to morale, to the soldiers on the ground?
It made me feel better, It made me feel that we have someone to watch our back. It made me feel that we actually have an ally in the hour that we needed the most.
And then conversely, how does it feel as a soldier on the battlefield when you hear world leaders condemning Israel, when you have heightened focus on Israel, like with the tragedy of the killing of the World Central Kitchen staff, the first time, not the second time, when it turned out one of them was in fact a Hamas terrorist who took part in October 7th. The first time, and suddenly the whole world has this laser focus on Israel and the movement of its troops. What does that do for soldiers on the ground?
Well, first of all, that's horrible. If correct me if I'm wrong, but I think 7 of the volunteers of the World Central Kitchen have died, right?
Yes.
So in war, you have mistakes. Sometimes they are horrific, but that was never in our intentions as special force to hit any civilian, to hit not along a volunteer from another country. Not that I have had anything to do with that specific event, but that's the idea. You talked about the world leaders, and I do want to say that as soon as I got out after the first round of reserves, we're talking about months, day and night, fighting terrorists. Okay, you do your, I don't know how to pronounce that in a polite way, but you do your needs in a bag, and you try to bury it so it won't smell. You share a can of tuna with with a few of your friends because you need it,
There are no flushable toilets in a tank, you're saying?
Not kitchens as well. So what I'm trying to say is, after I fought day and night versus Hamas, I got out a few months after October 7th for the first time, saw the world leaders, some of them, actually taking position against Israel. It made me mad because none of them has ever been here in Gaza, in Judea and Samaria, at the battlefield. They have the nerve to tell me that we're committing genocide. If I would commit even 1/4 than what the clown that you schooled not long ago in a debate. If I would
Mehdi Hassan, for those who won't follow me.
If I would have done quarter of what he says, then my safety will be 100% better, because I could shoot whoever I want according to his logic. But we put ourselves in danger time after time because we're trying not to fall into Hamas's traps.